We're continuing the Shovavim talks and what the Torah teaches us about the power of a marriage relationship and how it's so central in our relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, with Hashem. And we spoke last time about really a few different things. The oilish, the idea that it's a responsibility. Marriage is something we have to be investing in all the time. And it's true of all relationships. It's about constantly giving and constantly thinking about what the other person needs or wants or will benefit from us. It's also about understanding that what they need might be different to what I need. And it's about just constantly injecting, and every day thinking about the details. I want to talk now about receiving, because the other side of giving is receiving. And there's a difference between being a taker. A taker means, what's she doing for me? What's he doing for me, right? I'm thinking, are they doing enough for me? Are my needs being satisfied, right? That way of thinking will ultimately destroy a marriage. Now, our needs do need to be satisfied. If we're not getting food, then we need food, right? If we're not getting money, we need money. So our basic needs need satisfaction, and that's true in marriage as well. But if we're thinking about me, generally as a primary thought, that will be causing huge damage in any relationship, and especially in a marriage. If we think about what am I doing for them, are they happy? Are they enjoying? That is going to be much greater. But there is a reality to, then I'm just in control. I'm just giving. And it's a way of also being invulnerable. There's such a thing called receiving. So I give love, I give gifts, I give what needs to be given, whether it's in a physical relationship, in an emotional relationship, in a spiritual relationship. But there's also the dimension of receiving, of allowing them to give. In depth, that's really what's going on in intimacy. It's not about what I'm taking and using them for. It's about what I'm giving, but what we're sharing and building together, and that includes allowing them to be a giver too. Right? There's many dimensions to this. We all know that in the laws of charity and in Hilchos Tzedakah, if somebody's poor, better than giving them charity is actually to allow them to do something for us too. But in love, it's really like that, because we are vulnerable, right? And allowing the other person in, and and sometimes there are times when we need them, but more than that, even when we're giving, is allowing them to be a giver back. So it's not taking, it's about allowing the dignity of building together, being vulnerable, being open. And part of my love is also being able to receive love and letting them feel what they can give me through their love. And that's very deep, but a critical part of the relationship, what we call oil ish, of the responsibility and guidance through life that comes through marriage. And coupled with receiving is actually the art of appreciation. I'll give an example. Revolver, in his classical work, he had a beautiful book he wrote for people about to get married. And he speaks to the boy who's about to get married. And he says a typical example in a traditional home will be that the woman's making supper. Again, theoretically, it could be the other way around. The man could be making supper, but right, she's making supper. And she's worked hard and put the ingredients in and really thought carefully, right? The early days of marriage, what ingredient will work well, what won't. He comes and gobbles the whole thing down, says, "Oh, thank you so much, that was really nice," and goes out again. That was potentially hours of work. And we just gobbled it down and said, "Thank you, that was so nice." But there's a thing called hakaras hatov, recognition of the good. That's the art of receiving. And the art of receiving says, "Wow, this carrot, this is nice, something's on it. What did you put on that?" Right? And as we eat it, it's part of our relationship. Somebody put effort in because they love me. And let me taste in that and show my appreciation. Wow, those carrots are something really good. Those potatoes are burnt really nicely, right? There's something, and really to notice. Oh, you put on you put a different piece of clothing today. Oh, that looks really good. That goes really well. I saw that you moved something around in the house. There's constantly people are doing for one another. It's true in our relationship with Hashem, by the way. That's what we're meant to do when we pick up food. Hashem, wow, thank you for this. Not just made a bracha and gobble it down. Right? The whole point is, I appreciate, Hashem, that you different flavors on my plate over here. And I appreciate the person I love if they've been involved in that preparation. If it's my wife, right? Look at that. I appreciate everything you've done for me. And learning to appreciate is learning to receive. So there's giving, and a huge part of giving is receiving. And by the way, both in our relationship with Hashem and our relationship with our spouse, with our partner, is going to be, and both in our relationship with Hashem and relationship with those we love most is going to be the same thing. The more we appreciate, the more they'll insert in there. The more we don't appreciate, and it's true, when you look at Hashgacha Pratis, how much does God actually shift things in the world for our day-to-day interaction? A lot depends on, are we being sensitive to it? The Rishonim tell us not everyone gets it. If a person just switches and doesn't notice when Hashem's doing things for us, So then Hashem says, okay, fine. So you'll just become part of the natural background scenery. And if you're stuck in a traffic jam, it might not be a great lesson in life. But if we're there and absorbing all the time what you're doing for me, then there'll be a reciprocal investment. And so the art of appreciation, the art of expressing that, thank you for the way you did this, thank you for the way you're doing that, in a very genuine way, right? It doesn't have to be like an artificial, real genuine way, is something very, very special. And something that has to be central. So that's part of being in the beautiful responsibility and the beautiful pleasure that marriage can bring out within us, is the constant care to attention detail, the constant expressing of love and giving, and the constant receiving as well. And so, as we said last time, the word ahava, the word love, it's something that comes from giving. As Rav Dessler tells us, it's rooted in that Hebrew word hav, one of the 11, I think it is, biblical verbs for giving, right? Love is an extension of the giving that we do. The beautiful marriage that can be stronger 60 years in than when the day they met is one that's based on the giving, where the giving is both giving, but the deepest level of giving, of receiving. And it's in these things that we become one. Hashem shall help us, bless us all, that we have those beautiful relationships, and we're able via that to convey and learn the depth in our own relationship with Hashem and be able to give so much bracha to the world.